Ladies and gentlemen, so Trump just went on a radio interview in New York City. He has been really nice about the whole investigation around the attempted assassination, but you'll see his change of attitude in the call. Trump uncovers so much in this interview that I now believe we know how he truly feels about everything that's happened in the last couple of months. I've added a lot of the context as to what they're talking about so you can stay in the loop. Enjoy this amazing interview with Sid and Trump.
Back here on Sid and Friends in the morning, and here he is. Boy, I love this guy, the 45th and soon-to-be 47th President of the United States, my friend, President Donald Trump. Mr. President, how are you today?
I'm good. We just had some very good poll numbers come out, as you see, against this crazy person that we're running against. How she's running is just so bad. With her protection of our border, she was the border czar, and millions of people coming in, and she's running for president. It's crazy, but that's what it is. Welcome to the world of politics.
It is crazy. I want to rewind the tape just a couple of weeks, Mr. President. And, I arrived in Milwaukee the day you were in Butler, Pennsylvania. Right. And I went to my hotel room and I went to put away my clothing. Fox News on in the background. And I thought I heard gunshots. And I sat at the edge of the bed. I remember I was born in 1967. Kennedy was assassinated in 63. I said to my father, I said, Daddy, why were grown men crying when the president was shot? And I'm going to tell you something, Mr. President. I sat at the edge of my bed in Milwaukee and I cried. And when you pumped your fist and told me and the rest of America you're okay, you made me and millions of people feel good again and come to the quick realization, once again, you're the toughest guy we know.
Well, thank you very much, Sid. It was a terrible day. It was a bad moment for our country. It was incredible that could happen, but it did. It was a bad thing.
It was, and now it turns out, I guess, we know the FBI and the Secret Service both screwed up major, both of them. And is it true, Mr. President, you've agreed now to become a victim witness for the FBI in this investigation?
Yeah, whatever I can do, I'll do. I think we have sort of an obligation to do that. I'm very disappointed with the FBI, not the people in the FBI, but the way it's being run. And it's, obviously very disappointing. And Secret Service, they were very brave. Look, they jumped on that stage, but they had some real holes when you look at nobody on that roof and no coordination with the police. It seems to be coming out that there was absolutely no coordination, and that's a pretty bad thing when you think of it.
Horrible,
so
and I'm glad.
A lot of bad facts are coming out.
Yes, and I'm glad Kimberly Cheeto resigned, Mr. President, but we need Christopher Wray to step down too, no?
Well, he's been disappointing, certainly. He's been a lot of things. I mean, he seems to be focused on putting everybody on J6 in prison. He was a Christie recommendation. Chris Christie, can you believe it? And what can I tell you? You take recommendations. And so, hey, we hope for the best. That's all I can tell you. He raided Mar-a-Lago, and that turned out to be a very bad thing for him to do. We won that case, you know that, right? We won the poll documents case. And Biden should be guilty. Biden should be guilty on that case. He should be a convicted felon because they ruled that, he's not competent to go to court, but he's supposed to be competent to be president. Think of that. Think of that one. He can't go to court, but he can be president.
It is crazy. But you win all the cases, thank God, because they're all a joke. But I want to talk to you about being nice. You made a comment last week. It was great. You go, they shot me. I was being nice. Now I'm not going to be so nice. I got to tell you, Mr. President, I'm sick and tired of people telling me about you being nice. You know what I want Trump to be? I want Trump to be Trump. The authentic Trump is the guy that's won 3 consecutive primaries, is going to win 3 consecutive elections. When he has to be nice, he's nice. When he doesn't have to be, he's not. Enough with this nice nonsense, no?
Well, that was a great description. Do you mind if I just plagiarize from you? Do you mind? I can use those same words.
Thank you.
Because I'll tell you what, that was a very good description. Look, I want to be nice, and I'm a person that is nice. I have a lot of friends like you, but I want to be a nice person. They're trying to put me in prison. These are people, these are animals we're dealing with. These are horrible people. They're letting millions and millions of people come into our country and kill people. It's happening every day. Millions of people. Every day it's happening where there's tremendous migrant crime. They come in from all over the world. They're coming in from prisons, and you know what's happening. They're coming in directly from prisons, saving these countries a fortune, by the way. But think of it, mental institutions and terrorists are coming in, and they're pouring into the country. And then they say, I'm not democratic. I'm a threat to democracy. It's just a soundbite. It means nothing to them to say it. Maybe it's a reason I was shot. Who knows? It's rhetorically a terrible thing to say about somebody like me, but they say it all the time. And actually, they're the threat.
Yep.
Joe Biden's incompetent, and then they took his 14 million votes and they gave it to somebody else instead of going to a primary system that you're supposed to do. And she's more incompetent than he is, in my opinion. And she's far more radical.
Yeah. No, it's not even close. She's a heck of a lot worse. Yes, they try to put you in prison and they try to kill you. And take it from me, I know President Trump. He's on the phone right now. Great sense of humor. Nicest guy in the world. Great father. Great grandfather. Great family man. But we need to win this. Bottom line is we need to win. Look at the great job you did with the Supreme Court. Now these two people, they want to overhaul it. They want to get rid of the immunity decision. They don't know what to do first. Leave the Supreme Court alone, but they're going to try to change it, aren't they?
But they don't really want to get away with end the immunity decision, because if they didn't have immunity, Biden would be in tremendous trouble.
That's right.
With all the criminal acts that he's committed. He would be in tremendous trouble. So he doesn't really. That's just it's typical. This is all they are: misinformation, disinformation. The last thing that crooked Joe Biden wants to do is get rid of immunity, because if he got rid of immunity, he would be spending the rest of his life fighting it out. I mean, you know that. It's pretty amazing. So it's just talk. It's just sound bites. Now, the rest of it he wants to. They want to pack the court. He doesn't want to get rid of presidential immunity, because then he wouldn't have immunity. Right. He'd retire, and anybody would be able to go after him. So he doesn't want to do that. But they put it out there. He'll give that up. You watch. He'll give that up. But what he does want to do is hurt the judges, and what he does want to do is pack the court. There's no question about that. They want to have, I've heard numbers like 29 judges. I've heard all different numbers.
Oh, God.
They want to pack the court.
That's nuts.
It's unbelievable.
That's crazy.
Yep.
I do want to talk about Israel, too, because you know how staunch I am, President Trump. You know.
Yep.
And I got to tell you, you're in St. Cloud, Minnesota. It's hours, not days, not months, hours after 12 little kids were blown to smithereens, and you find it in your heart to make a point. Do you know that 2 days later, this Harris, who went to a sorority party in Indiana instead of going to watch Bibi speak, this Harris,
right,
who gave Bibi an ultimatum the day before he met you, hasn't said a word about these little kids? How disgraceful is that?
And by the way, there was just another very bad attack in the UK. Now, I don't know that this has anything to do with anything that we're talking about right now, but there was a vicious, violent attack that just took place just now in the UK. And terrible. What's going on is, it's terrible.
Well, Israel's going to be a huge point of contention. And I must say, when Bibi met with you, when Bibi met with you Friday, and the photo op of you and Bibi, Mr. President, and then that room you made look so beautiful with the Israeli flags at Mar-a-Lago, that's what two leaders look like, you and Bibi, not the nonsense on Thursday. Do you know they didn't even take a photo op? Not Biden, not Harris, not anybody.
When she stood up with him, she wanted to get out of there so fast. You could see the disdain. Number one, she doesn't like Israel. Number two, she doesn't like Jewish people. You know it. I know it. Everybody knows it, and nobody wants to say it. And I mean this sincerely. I'm running in New York. And I think we have a good shot in New York, by the way. And Lee Zeldin's heading it up and the whole thing. Yep. And you're going to sort of head it up as much as you're allowed to do that stuff. But I'm running in New York. Any Jewish person that votes for Biden or a Democrat, but votes for Biden, any Democrat, or votes for, and now we have Kamala, because, you don't really have this yet because you still have to have a convention. But anybody that votes for that group of people, those two people, but now it looks like it's going to be her, because she dislikes Jewish people and Israel more than Biden did. And Biden never did anything, and neither did Obama. It never did. And the amazing thing is that the Palestinians hate him also, which is sort of interesting. I mean, they've pulled off like this massive thing where everybody hates him. But frankly, any Jewish person that voted for her or him or whoever it's going to be, I assume it's going to be her, anybody that did that should have their head examined.
I could not agree more.
Because a lot of Jewish people do not like Israel, and they happen to be in New York. You know that.
Yes.
But if you are Jewish, regardless of Israel, if you're Jewish, if you vote for a Democrat, you're a fool, an absolute fool. They have let Jewish people down since Obama at levels that nobody could believe possible. 15 years ago, the strongest lobby in all of Washington was Israel. It was by far the strongest lobby. Nobody would say anything bad about Israel. Today, it's like nobody says anything good, except Republicans, by the way. Nobody says anything good about it. So it's a hell of a change. I assume you know exactly what I'm saying.
Oh, I know.
15 years ago, you couldn't say a bad thing.
No.
You'd be out of office.
Yeah.
And today, it's almost like, Schumer has become a Palestinian. Chuck Schumer is officially now a Palestinian.
It's funny, but it's true. It's sad. He is. And they tell me that this Harris's husband, Doug Emhoff, Mr. President, is Jewish. He's Jewish like Bernie Sanders is Jewish. Are you kidding me? He's a crappy Jew. Yeah. He's a horrible Jew. So on the way out, we covered a lot here, okay? And look, you got a good couple of months ahead of you here. You're going to win again, trust me. And the economy, every bit of this economy that went to hell since you left office, she's been a part of all of it, from inflation to the strangling interest rates to all the bad deals around the world. She can't escape all of that, right? Her complexion and her gender, she can't escape all of that, right?
She's worse than him, and she's more radical. And look, defund the police. That's all you have to hear, defund the police. She wanted to defund the police. She was the leader of that movement. Now she tries to pretend she was the head of the border. She was in charge of the border, right? She was the border czar. Now, if you look, you can't find that term anywhere. They've deleted, the fake news has deleted it largely. But she was the border czar. If there's enough, we have plenty. She was the border czar. She presided over the worst border in the history of the world. There's never been a border like this. There's never been a border like this for any country. And she was the border czar. Now she tries to take it away, but she can't do that. She is far worse than Biden. Remember that.
I agree. Far worse, and that's hard to believe. Mr. President, I just thank God you're okay. We all love you, and you're going to win again, and keep doing what you're doing. Keep being President Trump, because that's good enough to win every time, and thank you so much for hopping on with me again today. I love you, pal.
And Sid, make sure we win New York, please, okay? You have a lot of people listening to this crazy show. You have a lot of people. I don't even think you know it, but you have a lot of people. Will you please make sure that we win New York, okay? I'll put you in charge indirectly, all right?
You have my word, Mr. President. We're going to win New York for you, okay, pal?
Thank you, man.
God bless you.
So long, Sid.
Take care.
Bye-bye.